You're listening to the Dollop on the All Things Comedy Network. My name, my being, nipple haver, double nip man.
It's not okay.
Face guy. Lover of the A-Team as a child, Dave Anthony reads a story from American history to his amigo.
Gareth Reynolds, who has no idea what the topic is going to be about. That's the best one you've done. That's
Why?
your best work, because it was really insane.
It seemed pretty on the nose. Like I talked about things that are true.
You bragged about having nipples and a face, and then said you liked the A-Team.
Okay, number one, there are people out there without nipples and without faces. So I'm putting out there that those are the things that I have. Also, the A-Team was good.
All right, well, we can just start it, I guess.
And called it, quote, his jam pad.
Jam pad?
I'm the fucking hippo guy!
Dave, okay.
My name's Gary.
My name's Gary.
Wait.
Is it for fun?
And this is not going to become the Tiggly podcast.
Okay.
This is like anarchy!
On a 5-part coefficient.
My rules is play!
Now hit him with the puppy. You both present sick arguments.
No sleep till hippo!
That's like the hippo.
Action part.
Hi, Gary.
No.
Nicely done, my friend.
No.
And that was you. Some of those parts in there.
Yeah, no, I know. It's the intro.
You have parts in the intro. It's not just me.
No, I'm totally aware.
Yeah, but you're also like in there. Like
I'm just going to shout out some dates right now that are not related to history. I'll be on a tour for stand-up this summer. June dates, 6th through the 8th, Good Nights Comedy Club, Raleigh, North Carolina. Burlington, Vermont Comedy Club, 13th through the 15th. 20th through the 22nd, The Comedy Attic in Bloomington, Illinois. Comedy Off-Broadway, Lexington, Kentucky, 27th through the 29th.
You totally flubbed that one.
All right. Laugh Boston, the 19th and 20th of July. August, I'll be at the Improv in Denver, the 9th through the 11th. 17th, I'll be at the Abbey in Seattle. What, are you taking a picture of me? Can you just be normal for, I just feel like, you ever seen the movie Clifford with Martin Short and Charles Grodin? There's a great line in there where Charles Grodin looks at him and he's just like, can you be a normal boy? Is it possible? And then Comedy on State, Madison, Wisconsin, 22nd through the 24th.
Now that's on State Street, right?
Please stop helping. And some of those do not have tickets up on the website yet to buy, just so people know.
Oh, that's great.
Also, May 11th, a Saturday, I will be at the West Side Theater doing stand-up comedy here in Los Angeles. And then May 7th, I will be at the Dojo at the Sycamore Tavern. I think that'll be at 8 o'clock.
All right.
And that's it.
I just put that up on the Instagram.
What did you put up on the Instagram?
The picture I took. It's not bad.
Yeah, sure. Just normal existence.
Yeah, this is who we are. We're out in front of the public eye.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's just not a lot of people internally paparazzi. But it's
we are brought to you by ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter, of course, is a place where you can find humans to do work.
Let's put it less crazily.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, for them, for their benefit.
Hiring used to be hard. Multiple job sites, stacks of resumes, a confusing review process. But today, hiring can be easy. And you only have to go to one place to get it done. ZipRecruiter.com/dollop.
There we go.
That's us. We're the Dollop. And then we are working with a
What have you done today?
company.
You got into the goof juice.
Did a lot of ether. Look, ZipRecruiter, with their powerful matching technology, they scan thousands of resumes to find people with the right experience and invites them to apply for your job. Now, what job is it that you were looking for an employee for?
For GearCore?
Yeah.
We're fully staffing. Right now, we're staffing the warehouse.
You're staffing the warehouse?
Yeah.
So what kind of experience?
We need a pallet commander.
A commander?
We need a commander of the pallets.
Yep.
We need forklift doctors.
Mm-hmm.
We're after stacking agents.
Mm-hmm.
We want floor tropicalists.
Yep.
And we're also looking for some door enthusiasts.
Yeah, those are all going to be listed on ZipRecruiter under the GareCorps.
Yeah. And we're hiring lots.
Yeah. As applications come in, ZipRecruiter analyzes each one and spotlights the top candidates so you never miss a great match. So this sounds like it's going to be great for you.
It's been great.
And right now, our listeners can try ZipRecruiter for free at this exclusive web address, ZipRecruiter.com/Dollop. That's ZipRecruiter.com/Dollop, DOLLOP, ZipRecruiter.com/Dollop. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Mm-hmm.
So, if you're seeking people who need work.
Which I am. We already covered this.
Oh, we did?
Yeah, we talked a lot about it.
Right. We also brought to you by Brooklinen.
Ah, yes.
Makers of sheets. Mm-hmm. Elegant, carefully crafted. Things you can have sex on.
Yes, among many other options.
You spend a third of your life in sheets. It's about time for a bedding upgrade.
Yeah.
We each have a pair of brooklinen.com sheets. They're very comfortable.
Yeah.
It's
weird. I like sleeping in yours more than I do mine.
Yeah,
I don't know. I think it's because you're there.
Well, you're out in the backyard, but I get it.
Right.
So I'll put Gareth in a sheet and I'll throw him in the. I would call it a ditch.
Yeah. No, it's an underground bed.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where but when he puts the Brooklinen sheets around him, he's like, I feel like
if you do that and you have a good layer of soil there, you feel like an earthworm.
Yeah.
It's dynamic.
That's why you call it earthworming.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you can do that with the sheets. You can also put them on a bed. That's what me and the wife do inside. Gary, you have a pair that are jet black, right?
Nope. Your angle on this bit is...
It just keeps going.
Yeah, it's not in a great way.
People love that I do not stop doing the same thing over and over again, and it brings me joy knowing that there's people out there getting mad about something that shouldn't matter. So we're both big fans of these sheets. Winner of the online bedding category from Good Housekeeping. Tons of great reviews, 35,000 five-star reviews. They're great. They were founded in 2014 by a husband and wife, Vicky and Rich Fulop. Almost like Dollop, which is the name of our podcast. Their mission was to make 5-star hotel quality sheets more affordable and easy to order, and darned if they didn't do it. So we recommend them. Brooklinen sheets are the best, most comfortable sheets we've ever slept on. Now it's time for your upgrade. Brooklinen.com is giving an exclusive offer just for our listeners. Get 10% off your first order and free shipping when you use promo code THEDOLLOP at brooklinen.com. Brooklinen, so confident in their product that all their sheets, comforters, and towels come with a lifetime warranty. The only way to get 10% off your first order and free shipping is to use promo code DOLLOP, THEDOLLOP, at brooklinen.com. That's BROOKLINEN.com. Promo code THEDOLLOP. Brooklinen. These really are the best sheets ever. And of course, we are brought to you by Ritual. It's a vitamin situation. Look, everybody wants to keep their body healthy, and already I'm lying because that's not me.
Right. Okay.
I
don't turn this into some kind of weird confession.
I'm a slumlord, and my body's the tenement.
What?
It's not good.
No. But surely just taking this will help.
I can't. I'm not a lady. I mean, I could take it. I'm sure it would.
I think you should try it.
Yeah. No, that's true. So a lot of people try to eat kale
can't
salads,
hurt you.
drink green smoothies. That's like your deal.
Smoothie a day, bro.
We're still most likely not getting all the essential nutrients we need. Enter Ritual, the obsessively researched vitamin for women. It is transparent. Right? This is a vitamin, you know what's inside, because most vitamins you don't.
Right.
There's I assume most of them hair in them, except for this one.
Yeah, we're very trusting with the pills. What'd you say it was? I'll take it. Thank you so much, doctor. I'm not a doctor. I just work at CVS.
And of course, a lot of people care about this stuff, especially when me and my wife are trying to get pregnant. You're like, what are you putting in your body? And you really want to know. And vitamins you don't know, but they tell you to take tons of vitamins.
Believe me, I know.
Yeah, no, you were right there for all of it. Ritual essential for women is the multivitamin reimagined from D3 to omega-3. Ritual's essential for women helps fill gaps in a woman's diet. Their no nausea capsule design is gentle on an empty stomach, and there's a mint tab in every bottle to keep things fresh, so you don't get that fishy aftertaste common with most omega-3s, which I'm not a fan of, especially the burpee.
You don't like fish burps?
The fish burps.
You're not into burping?
Yeah, I don't need that.
I love a fish burp.
I know you do. Better health doesn't happen overnight, and right now Ritual is offering our listeners 10% off during your first 3 months. Fill the gaps in your diet with essential for women, a small step that helps support a healthy foundation in your body. Visit ritual.com/dollop to start your ritual today. That's 10% off during your first 3 months at ritual.com/dollop.
Nice.
Dollopia.
Nice.
Dollopia.
Sure. You are.
I was going to cut this part out. What do you want to do?
Dollop.
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure what we were here for.
Yeah. I think it's been pretty clear.
No.
Okay.
December 16th, 1849.
Oh,
Year of
boy.
our Lord, Jesus Christ.
Yep.
Richard C. Flower.
Dick Flower?
Dick Flower.
Continue.
Was born in Ohio. Raised on a farm. Father was a reverend.
Okay.
He left home at 13 to make his own way in the world.
Sure.
That's just how you did it.
Yeah.
You're like, look, Dad, I finally got the hairs on the lower parts. I am heading
really,
out.
It really has become normal to hear that now at this point on this show.
Yeah. And your parents were like, oh, I get it. You're 13.
I was wondering when he was going to get off his ass and make something of himself.
Shouldn't you be working on a ship?
I'm too. Like I remember when I had to go to the airport alone when I was like 13.
Terrifying.
I was like, I can't handle this.
Yeah.
I die here.
Yeah, and you did.
And I died there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still there dead.
Yeah, that's the best part of our podcast.
Yeah.
So when he was 15, he become a well-known boy preacher in Indiana and Ohio. So he's one of those young preacher types. The people are like, look at this boy and his magic talking.
Boy, that is really crazy too.
Yeah, totally. He entered Butler University, studied medicine, but instead of getting a degree there, he got a totally bullshit medical degree from a fraudulent Ohio medical school.
Which was just as good.
Yeah, why not?
Back then,
I mean,
right?
you could do that back
I mean,
then.
aside from actually getting education, but you could just go to someone and be like, "Can I be a doctor?"
And they'd be like, yeah, how much money do you have?
This much money. Can I be a really good doctor?
You're the best. You're a
Hey,
surgeon.
Thank you so much.
Brain surgeon.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah,
what
get
an
in
honor.
there.
I
Get
didn't
in
know.
there.
How does one do it? Crack it like an egg, or do I just?
Ch-
You know what?
yeah.
I'm the doctor. What am I asking
Do
you
what
for?
you
I'm
need
the
to
best
do.
brains. What is
we
it?
had a guy that we gave a degree to, and he just goes through the eye.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to do that.
You can pop him out.
I'm probably going to go top in.
Top in's good.
See what happens.
I don't really care. I just want the money.
I don't care either.
know what
I
I
just
mean?
want to be able to get out there and really
Yeah.
start getting into some bodies,
Yep,
and
you're-
by any means possible.
That's right. You're a doctor, so get
Okay.
into bodies.
Great. All
You
right.
can also go through the chest to get to the brain.
Boy, there's a lot of great options.
Yes.
I am excited to spread the word, so I'm just going to grab this degree, put it up on my wall, and all right.
All right. I'll see you later, doctor.
Thank you, Squire.
No, I'm not a squire. So after he gets the medical degree, he goes back to the church, and he was put in charge of different parishes from 1869 to 1872.
Can I just, sorry to jump in
Yeah,
again,
yeah.
can I just say that I already kind of like the combination of
doctor.
young man of the cloth and faux doctor. I just
Well-
see a lot of potential upside to Jesusing our way into
I mean,
this.
have you heard about my new show, Preacher Doctor?
Oh,
CBS.
because ABC's doing Dr. Preacher,
That's right.
which I heard is
That's right. Great.
that's the one to see.
Yeah, and then there's a spin-off Nighttime Dr. Preacher.
Oh,
which
yeah.
happens at night.
Yeah, Preacher After Dark Doctor.
Yes, that's right.
Right.
So he then decided to study law, and he graduated from Northwestern University with a law degree. Now,
Okay.
there's a lot of different versions of this guy's story, so I was trying to go on through them, but it seems like it took a year.
Okay.
Yep.
So
He kept preaching. He grew quite popular. He was, quote, a very convincing talker.
sure.
Which you need to be, right?
Yeah.
If you're bringing people around.
No,
on the
if
Lord.
you're throwing a lot of bullshit out there, you got to be convincing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like QVC for God.
Yeah. That's right. You do. That was meant for me, right?
No.
Pretty fucking pointed comment.
You are just too sensitive. It's not there.
But then he was accused of libel after he wrote a bunch of letters to a former parishioner. So I couldn't find out what was in the letters. They just said he was accused of libel and actually he went to court and lost the case.
Okay.
Because he was, just clearly
Guilty
going
of
after
letter
some-
libel?
Yeah, he was. Well, this is when you did letters. I mean,
Yeah,
now it's different. But
Yeah.
back then it was either paper or letter.
Right.
What else are you gonna do?
Right.
So he's out, loses the case. And now he's not in the church. Heads to Philadelphia, takes up medicine.
Okay.
Though other doctors in town were not fans of his methods.
Well, because he didn't have any. Is that?
Yeah, I think he was just kind of making
because his were
shit up.
totally manufactured and not based on.
He was really. I mean, if anybody was winging it, he was winging it.
Like, I'm not saying let's adhere to what the laws they found of medicine in the 1800s.
The best.
Because they're not good.
But we should go back to those.
We should not.
As a matter of fact, I'm opening up a new hospital called
1843.
1800s only medicine.
Well, here in 1843, I'm going to open you up, put a little dirt in you.
Go
Let
in the
the
back
dirt do the
room.
work.
We're going to have a horse kick you in the tummy.
All right.
And then we're going to put beetles all over your face.
It's a lot of bug eating.
So he still has a successful practice despite that. Celebrities and stuff come to him. He's killing it. 'Cause
Who's
again,
a celebrity then?
I don't know. They didn't go into who celebrities were.
Gunther Pipeman.
Yes,
Right.
he's one of them. But people known in Philadelphia because he's also a good talker, right? He knows how to talk. He knows how to convince people.
That's what I've always found better about a doctor.
Those are the best doctors.
Yeah.
But then he goes to Boston and he started working at the F.S. Shaw Tanning and Leather Company.
Sure.
It was a very prosperous business before he got there, and after it failed rather quickly.
Okay.
Pretty much everyone at the company and involved blamed Richard for the failure.
But isn't he content at not really being a lawyer and not at all a doctor?
Yeah, I don't know if
So
he's
he's
content.
looking-
I would say that this is a gentleman who is not content and is always looking for a way to make more money.
Okay.
His next he headed for Peoria, where he got involved in coal properties. People own coal situations in the ground.
Sure.
That ended
Was this
up,
clean coal or this was the dirty one?
This is dirty.
Okay.
Which is interesting you bring that up. So that ended up with a flurry of lawsuits aimed at Richard and him running out of town.
What were the lawsuits based on?
Just shenanigans.
Oh, he was going for shenanigans.
Next came, this is interesting. So then he moves on. So he gets involved in coal. He learns a little bit about coal. And then he goes somewhere and starts the ChemCom company.
The ChemCom.
Yep. KEMKOM company. He runs it. He said the company had invented a compound to make coal burn more efficiently, which would get rid of the black smog in cities.
Ah.
Clean coal, like you said.
Yeah.
The compound burned out the grates and boilers in which it was being used, which meant it wasn't really a thing. And then the company folded and all the investors sued him.
Okay. So it feels like a good amount of misfires so far and maybe not finding an occupation to land on. Is that safe to say?
I mean, look, he's not. He's trying to find. He's swinging big. I mean, that's what he's
Right.
doing. He's fucking swinging big everywhere he goes.
Sure.
The ChemCom company seems like it was bullshit
Okay.
from the beginning.
Okay.
I was trying to bring up the pictures for you because I know you love pictures.
Yeah.
Where did they go?
Can you just say?
I want to show you a picture of him. So that's him.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yep. He looks.
So he
a
looks like
little
every other guy in the 1800s?
Yep, he looks a little squirrely.
Yeah.
As they all did back then. Hair combed a little bit too tight.
Yeah.
Little tiny glasses. I feel like those are the only glasses they had back then.
There were not a lot of options for a lot of things.
They're little roundy ones.
Yeah. What did you get? A shirt? I got 1 shirt. Same shirt? We all only have 1 shirt.
Hold on, I got to answer a text.
What?
From my wife. It's about dinner next week. Look, you got to be able to multitask when you're doing a dollop. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
Like, so next week I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to have an exercise bike in here, and I'm going to exercise bike
Here during the show?
Yeah, while I dollop, I'm going to be on the bike.
I don't think that's a good idea.
Well, get used to it because I'm teaching a spin class.
Here?
In 3 weeks, I'm going to start teaching a spin class in here.
During the show?
That's right.
Wow.
You know, maybe you should think about getting in shape.
Thank you.
And not crushing the dreams of people who are trying to get in shape.
You're right. Yeah, I was a monster back there. I was a real Kem Kong.
I didn't want to say it. Richard headed back to Boston.
Good.
He formed a couple of land companies for developing, land projects.
Sure.
They both went under.
Okay.
Pretty quick. He headed back to medical practice.
I was gonna say that's
let's
where
jump on.
that's really where he
get on the shit.
Yeah. I think he was the best at not being a doctor.
He opened up the Hotel Flower, which was a sanatorium with a medium who was part of the cure process.
Wow. Progressive.
Yeah. I mean, he's. I think every doctor should have a medium
In their hotel office.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Welcome to the hospital too.
I think a sanatorium is a little bit different back then. I think people would come and stay for a while, and it's not. It's a place you check yourself into for health, right?
Yeah.
It's not like a hospital.
Right.
So it's kind of a hotel. It eventually became the Plaza, that building.
Well,
That building.
they saw a different version.
Yeah. So you go in and you're like, hey, my leg feels weird, and he's like, oh,
You're
should,
crazy.
You should
Talk to the psychic.
That's right.
Talk to the psychic here. She doesn't think it's your actual leg.
What is she?
Your uncle killed your friend.
Oh, I know.
We're gonna solve this right now.
Wow. The Boston Globe quote, he refused to be bound by any system or code, which is the best. Like, if you're looking for a doctor,
That's
you're
what
like,
you
I
wanna
want
hear.
someone that works outside the box.
Who's a renegade? Someone who doesn't believe in what the books are telling him.
Other doctors attacked his methods. He would have to go to hearings in the legislature in Massachusetts to defend himself. He would lecture frequently around Boston on health subjects, and during a couple claimed he had found cures for cancer and consumption.
Okay.
So he's sounds like he's killing it.
Well, literally killing people, probably.
No, I mean, he literally he said he had his cure for cancer. He's fucking awesome.
Well, it's just that I feel like that hasn't stuck.
Really?
Yeah.
Because the
people still
clean
die of
coal didn't
cancer.
work or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Maybe you shouldn't shit on idea people.
Well, okay, sorry.
How about trying to let someone have a dream?
You do. You give someone that opportunity, but like once, maybe twice.
On a trip to Texas, he was arrested for charges against him in Chicago for skipping out on investors. He was released on bail and then arrested for his part in the Peoria coal fiasco.
Uh-huh.
A man claimed Richard had embezzled $300,000 from him in Peoria. Richard was then tried but not convicted.
Okay.
He heads for New York.
Good. The big city.
Yeah, let's do this. There he opened the Flower Medical Company, which sold a new liquid cure that he called Sagwa.
Okay.
Get yourself some Sagwa
Sure. What
and
is?
fix that eye.
Oh, it's Sagwa's for the eye.
Well, it's for all kinds of things.
What? Like what?
What do you have?
A question about Sagwa.
Sagwa will fix that.
So you're going to prescribe me Sagwa to answer my question about what Sagwa is.
That's right.
All right.
It fixes everything.
My baby's too hairy.
Yeah, it'll get rid of the hair.
I have another baby who's not hairy enough.
Amazingly, that baby will get hair.
I'm a man who would like womanly bosoms.
They are now yours. Sagwa helps you get bosoms.
I want a leg to be where my arm is.
Sagwa, I can do that in the back room. Sagwa was bottled and sold as a cure for any ailment. Rheumatism, arthritis, back pain, stomach ulcers, and most importantly, quote, spiritual and physical sag.
Okay, so Sagwa is what? Just some
Do you have this?
water?
Do you feel saggy?
water?
Do you feel saggish?
Do I have soul sag?
Do you have soul sag or do you have physical sag? Like, are you feeling sag?
No.
Then you don't need it.
Yeah.
Although it would help bring back that spark in your eye. His elixir actually had no medical value, no medicinal value at all.
Sure.
But it did have quite a bit of alcohol in it. So
That's good.
not a lot of people were complaining at first.
That is smart.
This is good. I can't. My thing is better.
My soul's never felt better.
I'm not saying. It does really well. He opens up an office on 34th Street.
I mean, literally, it just does well because it's booze.
Yeah, but also it cures stuff.
Yeah, booze cures stuff in the moment.
A famous guy, I didn't put this in there, but some famous guy, either owner of Tiffany's or a board member of Tiffany's, said he came back from Europe and he had some affliction and he tried Sagwa and it fixed him. So there were people that were like,
yeah.
I mean, the thing about these kind of things is you could have something that is a temporary malady, right? And then you drink the shit and you're like, I'm cured, I'm better.
Yeah.
Which is,
No, it is the advantage of knowing nothing.
Yeah. So this is the good years. He's living good, right? He's making money.
These are the
off
good
this.
years?
Yeah, he's living good. He's making money off of this. He's got an
Sagwa
office
juice.
on 34th Street, gets married. But word that his cure was bullshit got out over time, and he was starting to be attacked by the press, as were kind of all snake oil salesmen. They're now being called quacks in the Times. And on top of that, laws are starting to be proposed to regulate medicines.
Okay.
So that's bullshit.
No.
But the writing is on the wall.
Interesting fact, they had less measles back then.
Oh my God, are there measles now? There can't be measles because we came up with
eradicated?
a vaccination to
No,
get rid
no,
of that.
no.
We eradicated and we got rid of it. all.
No, dude. No. Come
What
on.
are you talking about? There can't be
there's
measles.
Dude, measles is back. It's awesome.
It can't be because we all
It's
got
like Murphy Brown.
We all
Measles
got
is back.
vaccinated. We all got vaccinated.
No, some of us were like, let's not, and then we'll mingle around the regular population, and then we'll give them all measles.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
It's so weird because my doctor does not have a medical degree, but she was a penthouse centerfold. So I usually just listen to what she says, and she told me to not get vaccinated.
Sounds like you're at a flower hospital.
Bingo.
And we're back.
Actually lost a friend because of Jenny McCarthy because I said she's a piece of shit, and he's like, she's a friend of mine. Okay, well, she's still a piece of shit.
Yeah, don't go in her pool.
Yeah. So the writing's on the wall, right? The snake oil business is gonna be fucked pretty soon.
Sure.
The government's coming. So for decades, Richard had heard rumors of the mineral deposits on the San Carlos Apache Reservation in Arizona.
The mineral deposits, okay.
Yeah,
Sure.
the minerals. And now the area was being opened up to mining. The Graham County Guardian.
Oh, boy, he's going to find some real bullshit.
You okay, Aaron? You got a cold?
Did you spill?
You got allergies? You got a...
Carry on.
It is a nightmare to be about to blow your nose and on a
Yeah.
recorded show and be like, can we listen?
There it is.
You got to do the slow blow.
Yeah, that was a slow
Where it's
blow.
almost worse, where you're like, nobody will know if I just go.
It's always bad when a guy takes like 4 Kleenexes out of him.
Yeah. You're either about to get a cold or jerked off.
So there's rumors about this Apache reservation that it's full of minerals. The Graham County Guardian paper had written, quote, "This is undoubtedly one of the richest pieces of mineral-bearing earth in the Southwest." In 1877, the Handbook to Arizona was published by Richard Hinton. Arizona Territory papers used journalists to publish their political agendas, and writers were pressured to come up with exciting stories that were not at all accurate.
Wow, imagine.
Other writers published books and pamphlets full of elaborate nonsense. Out east, people are reading about this. They can't get enough of the stories.
So this mineral thing is just kind of set up by BS journalism, just
They're
kind
saying-
of serving the state's business.
Yeah,
And
they want people to move
and
out there.
An old fake Dr. Flower is like, BS minerals, eh?
I can get it. I've been bullshitting everybody about everything.
I sold whiskey as an upper.
So they want people to move out because more people out there means more money. They want to get their hands on the Apache land, and they keep telling people the fighting with the Apaches is waning. Like, it's just all bullshit stories to get people to move out.
Oh, that's an interesting detail.
Yeah.
Oh, dear.
So the more they heard about the waning threat of Apaches, the more they wanted to head out and strike it rich. Hinton's handbook said it was a healthy climate for what were called lungers.
Oh, the lungers. You mean the people with exceptional...
The awesome lungs?
Yeah.
No, they're the people with tuberculosis.
Oh.
Yeah, come on out if you're a lunger.
What?
The dry desert air is perfect for you.
And you hear that and you're like, boy, I should go where all those people that have TB and cough.
Wobble! Lunger.
Sorry, Miss McCarthy.
Whites pushed Congress to remove the mining areas from within the boundaries of the Apache reservation. Ranchers and prospectors illegally invaded the reservation and started staking claims.
Okay.
This
sure.
here's my land now. I'm staking a claim.
Right.
We actually own this.
Right.
Not anymore. I put up my four twigs around here, and now it's mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm a fucking piece of shit.
Who's got all this stuff? Because I said so.
Copper was found, and there was enough coal for the new railroad. And people said the mines could provide work for the Apaches, right? So they found coal. They're like, we can put the Apaches to work in the coal mines. And certainly any Apache would want to go deep into tunnels to dig the shit out of the ground in exchange for cash.
Right.
That is, to them, natural. That's exactly how they were doing it. Most Native Americans dug the deepest of mines.
Do we ever wonder why the Native Americans are upset with us showing up?
Because
Because sometimes it's I don't see the downside. It feels like we came here with barrels and barrels of delicious selfish capitalism.
Yeah. I mean,
and we just were like share in the experience.
I don't think there's anything better than whoever thought up money is the best.
Yeah.
Because it's worked out great.
Yeah.
For government, it meant they would not have to feed the Apaches if the Apaches were working in coal mines. So it's a win-win for everybody.
I don't understand.
Well, so they're right now they're on a reservation. They've
So
given
in
them
other words,
shit land
right.
they can't take care of themselves anymore. So they have to feed them.
Right.
And now here's a solution: put them underground, get them black lung, and they can make a little bit of scratch.
It's
like I said,
kind of a romantic story.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, everybody wins.
Because at the end of this, they can buy a sweet car or whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
So in 1898, Congress restored the San Carlos mineral strip to the public domain. So they took this one strip that is in the reservation that is full of minerals, and they go, that's not part of the reservation now. Remember how it was? It's not.
Right. So this is just gerrymandering of...
Yeah. Oh, we're going to take the thing that we gave you.
We messed up the line. It's here now.
The Graham County Guardian cheered Congress for their wonderful decision. The paper wrote that a government inspection had found that the land was, quote, rich in gold, silver, copper, and coal. All of the things.
All of the important things.
This sounded like a great opportunity to Richard Flower. Unfortunately, Richard had never been to Arizona and knew absolutely nothing about mining.
Yeah, but why would you feel like he would stop? Why would that be like a problem for him?
No, I mean, he did doctor stuff, and he had no idea what doctor stuff was.
He knows what he's doing. This is the
coal.
Guy who invented Sagwa.
And the Kim Cam.
And Kim Cam.
So, he... So the word Mazuma means money in Yiddish, and he and his lawyer came up with the Spenazuma Mineral Company. So they they wanted to sound like Mazuma a little bit, and then they
it should be terrible but complicated.
Spenazuma, I don't know where that came from.
Spenazuma?
Spenammoney, Spenazuma.
Yeah, it's
awful. Not great, but
yeah. It's a bad indicator.
Yeah. So the Spenazuma Mineral Company is born.
It's one of those ones where he's probably saying it to people like,
Spenazuma?
No, I don't really.
Right? Hey.
Yeah.
Spenazuma?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no.
You're with me, right?
I'm literally with you. I'm
you
not.
want to give up money, right? Because I said Spenazuma. You want a Spenazuma? We're going to fucking do this. We're going to do this.
Yeah.
Me and you.
No, I'm no. You're just the guy telling me a story.
Spenazuma.
No, I'm a goat herder. So that's my job.
We're in New York City.
Yeah. The move hasn't gone great. Goats aren't happy.
So his medical office was quickly converted to the Spenazuma headquarters.
Sure. Well, I mean, yeah, it's not like he's going to miss it.
Yeah.
He could still practice medicine just as well.
The office door now had the word gold on the front.
That's important.
Gold.
That's important.
He printed up gold bordered stock certificates in $10 denominations, which would be about $100 today. So not a crazy amount of money. It's not. He's not just going for rich people. He's like, I can get the middle class, and well, there isn't really middle class.
So he's gonna sell these gold
$10 a share.
Okay.
And then you owe $10 a share in the Spenazuma mining company.
Right, which is, as we all know, going to go great.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
He starts making trips out to the Arizona territory.
You're off mic.
You're off mic.
Oh, look at that.
There's one. I wanted to buy that. I pulled up a certificate. What is it called? A stock certificate. And it's I wanted to buy this at $1,500.
So that you're coming to me now to see if I'll give you.
Yeah,
if I'll buy it
what
for
I'm saying
you?
is we should get in on this.
But Dave, it just doesn't. I don't know. I mean, this is how long you think. Now I trust you. You think it's the time to invest in Spenazuma?
I just want the stock certificate to put on my wall.
Do you think that we're gonna make some money out of Spenazuma?
Yeah, I mean we could. Why wouldn't we?
All right, I'm in, man.
All right.
Awesome.
So he starts making trips to Arizona territory, several over the next few months. First time there, he made his way to the town of Geronimo, a bustling town with saloons, brothels, blacksmiths, and 2 Chinese restaurants.
Wow. Okay.
I know, isn't that interesting? But then you think about it, and you think, of course, Chinese are coming over for
and,
work
yeah.
and building the railroads and whatnot. So, of course, there's Chinese restaurants in the West. Every single town we
and
go
the food's
to.
delicious.
Yes.
So,
Richard hired 2 men, Alkali Tom and Bill Duncan.
Alkali Tom?
Alkali.
Alkali Tom.
It's just a classic Western name.
Sure. Alkali.
70% of men in the West were named Alkali.
Sure. Okay.
They set out for the Black Rock region. Okay. Black Rock was not on the reservation or within the mineral strip boundary, but Richard did not care.
Okay. So he's now invading to get his minerals.
Well, he's heading to a place. But I think he doesn't want.
Can I tell you my fear?
Yeah, go ahead.
It's going to be dangerous.
Why?
I don't think he's thinking.
No, it'll be fine.
Okay.
So he sized up Tom, Alkali Tom, as a snaky dude who was skilled in the ways of not legal stuff.
Yeah.
Which was true. His regular job was being a cattle wrestler.
Keep going, man. No questions
Bill
here.
Duncan was a tough cowboy type who had robbed a stagecoach or 2 in his time, and now was the hotel clerk and available as a hired hand.
Okay. So a couple of good dudes.
A couple of bros that are right.
Good guys.
Yeah. As they rode up to Black Rock, Duncan told Richard that the imposing rock was called Montezuma by the Apaches, who guarded, and Montezuma guarded over the area. So the rock. So that's the rock. So the rock is like a.
So, and what you're saying is that
guardian rock.
What you're saying, okay, and just the way you snuck that in is important. So essentially, he and 2 assholes are now going to what could be called God Rock to take it apart for their business.
They're going to take it apart. They're not taking it apart.
They're going to be there probably collecting on land that has not been established as something they can legally be going to.
Well, I mean, I think they can legally because it's not on the reservation and it's not
part
of the middle strip. So really, you can just stake land.
But Montezuma, probably important.
Great pool.
Sure.
Richard took rock samples and shipped them back to New York. He started buying any claim around Black Rock he could get his hands on.
Okay.
Now, Bill Duncan was like, "Everyone's tried this place. There's nothing here." But Richard hires surveyors, laborers, carpenters, and miners to work his claims.
Okay.
He spread more money around to forge relationships with other mine owners nearby.
Okay.
Then he hired a photographer to document the progress at the Spenazuma Mining Company camp.
I feel like he's overspending.
Workers laid out a town site, which was called Spenazuma.
Jesus, get over it.
Everyone got to work creating what were completely fake mines in a camp, a town.
Okay.
Richard hopped a train back to New York, where he put together a gold-bordered prospectus full of photos and amazing description promising investors instant riches.
There's a Firefest vibe.
Except no one's blowing anybody for
For water.
water.
But
Although this is Arizona, people could be blowing each other for water.
but it's just all so propped up on all the things that seem important visually.
Yeah. No, it's
But
fucking,
underneath, it feels like there's really no substance.
Oh, there's not. It's just fucking garbage.
Okay.
It's a giant heap of garbage.
Okay.
Um,
How great would it be if Firefest did another one?
Firefest 2!
Just do it. Oh, man. They're talking about it at one point. I just keep rooting for that to happen.
So the prospectus is sent out across the East and a little bit in the Midwest. Quote, running through the center of this property is a vein of ore 1/2 mile in width and 2 miles in length.
Okay.
It's a pretty big vein.
That's in a big ore vein.
Yeah. Every foot of it rich in gold, copper, and silver. It is said this is the richest and largest continuous vein of ore, quote, rich from the surface rock into the bowels of the earth, ever discovered in the world.
So this is now just another selling component of more sort
right.
of investment?
Yep.
Right, okay.
Yep. They're saying this is the biggest discovery of ore.
And ore
ever.
is great.
Oh, it's the best. He spun another tale based on Duncan's story of Montezuma.
Okay.
He said Spenazuma had been an actual guy.
What? This is just...
What do you... What?
It's even
Where did I lose you?
Miles ago, and now is like he's in love with his idea that nobody
name.
else is in love with.
Great name. Sounds like
And
Montezuma.
now Spenazuma's a guy. And now Spenazuma's going to Montezuma?
What do you mean Spenazuma's going to Montezuma?
Their Montezuma is where Spentazuma is going to be.
Montezuma is the name of the rock that's what the Apaches call. But we don't even know if that's true. Like Duncan could have just been talking shit. So here's the story. Spenazuma is an actual guy. He is the son of legendary Aztec chieftain Montezuma.
Oh, Jesus.
Spenazuma had been the first person to discover the gold at Black Rock, but he's not interested in it. He doesn't care. It's not his thing.
Okay.
So it just sat there for years. It's just fucking sitting in this giant vein of ore. Until a professor and mining expert named T.A. Halchu.
Halchu?
Yep. From Longhorn, Montana, spoke to an old Mexican man. Now, the professor's not a real person, and Longhorn, Montana doesn't exist. Anyway, he talks to this...
As the lore would have it.
He talks to this old Mexican guy. Now, the old Mexican guy happens to be on his deathbed.
Okay.
So he's just spinning out truths.
Yeah, no,
telling
for
his
sure.
deepest secrets.
No, towards the end is where the logic really comes
And so
out.
for whatever reason, the professor's next to his bed. And the old Mexican guy tells
So he just does
Hachu,
this guy know him before, or he just goes over there?
We don't know.
Okay.
We don't know. We didn't get that nobody into it.
Okay.
So the old Mexican guy tells Halchu about the ore. And the Mexican man said the ore was under a rock formation that looked like Spenazuma's profile.
What?
Which is exactly what that looks like. Look, you can see the mouth and the eye, and then he's got a really fucked up nose, but it's there. I mean, it's been in some fights. The nose has been in some fights. But that's the face of our dear Spenazuma. He said it was named Black Rock. Richard buys full-page ads in newspapers with the story of Spinazuma and the rich vein of ore. He hires pitchmen to go around promoting
This is
the
Firefest. This is.
I think they are all Firefest. I think
Yeah,
that
but
this
this-
thing has happened so many times in the history of the world. It's just another one.
Yeah, but it's just like how shiny you make the shit, the
Make it
bullshit is
yeah.
just
Totally.
like if you spent some time not shining the bullshit, maybe there wouldn't be so much bullshit to shine.
That's a good point. So these pitchmen would go to small towns. They'd tell the story. They used lanterns to show slides along with their sales pitch from the photos that the photographer's taking of the town being built.
Sure.
The pictures were not of Richard's mines. They were of other.
But that's neither here nor there.
that
The
is-
point is, we
there's-
know where these mines
That's
are.
Right. That's right.
They're not ours.
Yeah. And
But once ours gets going, it'll
Yeah.
be similar to this probably.
So they're like, this is our mine, and it's other people's mines.
It's weird when you lie about something, like when it's
Not.
your mine,
Yeah.
but you say it's mine.
Yeah.
It's so fun.
I don't like doing this podcast with you.
I'm happy here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. One of the pitchmen called himself H.B. Clifford and said he was the commissioner of Arizona.
Ah, we all know that guy.
I'm the commissioner of Arizona.
I'm the only
That's
one
not a
who
thing.
has direct contact with Phoenix Batman.
I made up a ridiculous name for my position.
I'm Constable of Tucson.
I'm the mayor of Arizona. Quote, if you purchase mining stocks, buy those of big companies. And then he shows slides of the big companies, of which Spinazuma was always one.
Okay.
After, he'd whisper to people if they came to his hotel, he'd give them a hot tip.
Oh.
And the people would come
By
to
the
the
way,
hotel.
if someone tells you to come to their hotel for a hot tip,
I've done it. It's not great. Yeah. So it turns out the hot tip is Spinazuma, a mining company.
Yeah.
It works. People buy stock. In under a year, people had purchased over $3 million worth of stock.
Oh my God. Well, who needs a mine? You've made your money.
It's like $30 million today.
You've made your money.
Yeah. The people from all over the town of Trevoli, New York, put their money together and bought $60,000 worth of stock.
Jesus.
The Spinazuma Mining Company stock rose to $15 a share from 10 and then 12, now 15. The dividend brought even more investors in. The Graham County Guardian got in on the action, printing stories about the mining company. They were written by people who were actually at the mine, not the paper's writers.
Right. Okay.
Actual people at the mine.
Sure.
It turns out they were all employees of Richard, the mining company.
Oh, okay. So,
They just neglected to tell the paper that part.
okay.
So one wrote 35 men were working day and night shifts at the mine. Tons of wood and equipment was en route to build the mine. It was a big operation, according to the article. Mine owners were planning on building an electrical plant, a mess hall, and other structures, including a reading room for the miners.
Ah, yes.
Which, as we know about mine owners, every mine owner has a reading room.
Well, and they're also incapable of reading outside of a designated space.
That's right.
Because otherwise,
Yeah.
where are you going to read?
Yeah.
It's hard to find a place to read a book.
Here's a picture of the mine.
Is that the real mine?
Oh, don't look at that. Don't look at that. Don't look
Jesus.
at that. This is the actual mine. So
Okay,
these
so
are
there's...
photographs taken by the
So
photographer.
they're doing something.
Yeah, they're doing something.
Doesn't sound like your heart's in it.
So the reading room was obviously probably, I assume, a big success.
Sure. Yeah.
One long article a guy wrote about the building of a dry goods store, 2 saloons, and a, quote, first-class market.
A coal market.
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing about mine owners. They always had like a Gelson's and then a reading room.
All right, guys, get your acai bowls. Or whatever. I don't even know how you pronounce it.
What was that?
The ACIA bowls. People love those acai. I can't remember how
I don't
it's
even know what you're
pronounced.
talking.
Acai? Yeah, that's what it is.
Oh, the acai berry
Yeah.
thing? Yeah.
I still call it
Acai berry. Yeah.
The joke
So
went
they basically
well.
opened up a zoo bars and a nice
Okay, cool.
Starbucks. The mine was gearing up to crank out 500 tons a day. There's also great times happening. Quote, a grand ball was given at this place last Thursday evening in the new mill house. About 100.
Starting to feel less like a mine. Sounds like Google now.
About 150 people participated and enjoyed themselves immensely. It was the grandest social event in the history of the camp.
Like, if you invested in this, wouldn't you be like, get to work?
Yeah, get to work. Also, why?
My money should not be going to a reading room or balls.
Yeah, and why are there 150 people? Whatever. The whole thing's.
Oh, you're gonna love it. We're gonna be playing horseshoes and bocce ball. We have a barbecue every day.
The
cornhole.
Cornhole.
We're playing cornhole.
Can we get a cornhole?
We can absolutely get a cornhole. We can do whatever we want.
I would like to work at the mine.
The mine is great. We have 4 pieces of wood set up.
Oh,
and one of those little.
I love wood.
Trolleys.
My mom when I was growing up.
Here's
she's
the
like,
great
"You're
thing
a
about our
wood
mine too.
guy." Yeah.
We don't mine. We just party.
Oh.
Yeah. It's
Oh my
great.
God, that's the kind of mine I've been looking for.
Yeah. No.
Where there's just parties in a reading room.
Yeah. There's a reading room.
I
Yeah.
love
We have
that.
a reading
I love
room. Yeah.
reading
We just
rooms.
party here. We just party.
Oh my God, this is why I've always been like, I want to be a miner.
By the way, some people have been jerking off in the reading room and not reading, but that's just a side effect of designating a space for something that could be done anywhere.
Actually, the exact kind of reading room I'm looking for.
That's awesome, because I didn't want to straight up say it, but we've changed the reading room. Now it's just the jack spot.
See, I want to make movies, which aren't
A thing at all, yeah.
right,
Yeah,
so
but
I
I've
just-
had the same dream. I've wanted to make
But
movies.
my
and
idea of a movie is that I stand in front of people and I masturbate.
That is, I'll tell you what, as a guy who also shares a love of future cinema,
Right.
which is, again, is not a thing yet,
Yeah,
so it's
it's
even
not
hard to
even-
fathom us
yeah.
having this conversation. I love the idea.
But I want to stand in front of people and masturbate and say, "Wait, think about if this was on a screen."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's almost like you could be a comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, anyway, pipe dreams.
So Richard put together a board of directors made up of some buddies and fake people.
Sure, fake people are great for the board.
The fake board went on a not real trip to Spenazuma to inspect the mining operation.
Well, good, because you want to be sure that everything's up to standards.
Well, they came back with a fantastic report.
Oh, from the trip they didn't take?
Yeah,
Okay,
that's right.
great.
Quote, a few months ago, this camp was the center of the vastness of the wild, uninhabitable country. Today, it is a city of white tents.
Good.
If there was ever a spot on Earth, especially for a great mining camp, it is this Spenazuma Valley. We found this great mining property richer, greater, and more valuable than ever claimed by the company in their prospectus. You can dig anywhere for 2 or 3 feet and expose a rich body of ore.
So
they're saying
money
you literally-
should be coming back to people pretty quickly at this rate.
I mean, you can literally walk around and just wherever you dig.
Hey,
oh,
do me a favor.
gold!
Find a place where there's not ore.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, we just want to make a well.
Yeah, good Lord.
The board then said the mines were worth at least $24 a ton.
Oh.
So that's like doubling the price. And that would soon rise to $150 per ton.
Wow.
Once the operation was really going.
Boy, so the bullshit is really...
Oh, the bullshit is crazy.
Really, it's a valuable time to be in the bullshit.
Yeah. Apparently this was still not enough for Richard. To publicize it further, Richard arranged to have a select group of potential investors visit the mine.
Okay.
These are all prominent men, and if the trip worked out, he would issue another $10 million worth of stock.
Oh my God.
So they took several trains to Arizona.
There is a mine, though.
Well, he has gone about building out his claim, so they have dug holes in the ground.
That's not a yes.
There's holes in the ground.
Okay.
I mean, they're deep holes, but they're not
Yeah,
mine
but it's
holes.
not-
Like
right.
a mine is an extensive
But
thing.
everything is bullshit.
Yeah.
Okay.
They booked several trains to Arizona. Then they take carriages for the last leg. Richard promised a break on the fare. $80 a trip. That's nice.
That's great.
When they arrived in Geronimo, Apaches, Teamsters, and prospectors all came out to greet the Easterners.
Excuse me, you said we'd be having lobster tails for lunch. These are just bologna sandwiches.
What is this shit?
Is that Ja Rule?
Yes. 2 waiting fancy coaches then took them from the town to Black Rock.
Okay.
As they're riding, Richard's up front with the driver,
Sure.
and he stands up and yells, "Hold up!"
Ah.
And then he's shot toward a rock pile near the road.
Ah.
But everyone was very confused and alarmed, and then there's nothing there. Turns out Richard had set up 2 henchmen to pretend to try to rob the carriage, but the guys weren't there.
Oh my God.
And he had to tell the investors that he had seen a coyote, and that's what he had shot at. I don't know why he yelled, "Hold up."
Well, because coyotes respect commands. Oh my God. So wait, he'd hired 2 guys to stage a robbery.
A fake robbery.
And because the guys didn't show up, he
but
was
he
just
knew where
playing
they were
his
supposed
part.
to be. Yeah.
And those guys weren't there,
No.
so then he was like, there was a coyote.
That's
Let's keep going.
Yeah.
And also, don't depend on fucking actors.
well. One of those guys was Alkali Tom, and it turns out Bill Duncan had heard about the plan and come and told them to not do it and talked him into coming back to town because he thought the investors would see right through it.
Yeah.
And he was like, "What would happen when they did? What, are you going to kill them? Like,
Yeah,
how does it all play out?
How is it greasing the wheels?
None of it.
And what part of
came
it is
to
just
him-
to make him be like, oh, wow, he's a guy we could trust?
Yeah, and also like how exciting it is out here, and also, oh, he saved us from these guys. Like,
Right.
it's all just
Okay.
fucking.
So he
totally,
really just runs like a haunted house almost.
Yeah. This is like an early Disneyland.
Right, okay.
When they got to the mine, they were greeted by explosions. So as they're pulling up, they just hear boom, boom, because they're just
Sorry, boys. Things are really active around here.
Well, they're setting off dynamite, in the mines to act
Yeah.
because they're going for all the gold.
Oh, well, listen, they got to dig real deep to find this bullshit.
Men are all moving about. It's all a flutter.
We're not actors either.
They're all working very hard.
Watermelon, 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 watermelon.
They're bringing up ore, so guys are coming up with all this amazing-looking ore from the mine, and the investors watch as a big load of ore is hauled off in a wagon.
Sorry, you guys are catching us on a light day. Normally, there's a lot of ore. Hey, I heard those henchmen stopped you. No, those henchmen did not stop us.
No henchmen.
No, those guys. Didn't they try to take your... Oh.
The investors were fed. Then they went on a tour of the mining complex. Oh, look, they even took a picture.
Oh, really clear.
It's a bunch of the workers and then the investors.
Well,
there.
now, and I'm not trying to
Go ahead.
crap on the technology of this era,
This
but
is early photographs, super early.
Yeah, so I guess.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
I'm just trying to
people
see
were
the-
just people. This is when a picture would come in the paper, and people would be like, "It's magic!"
Yeah,
Like,
right.
This to them is fucking bananas that they can see what happened somewhere else at another time. Like, this is truly fucking crazy.
Yeah, and now I look at it now, and
Yeah, now it's not that
it's
great.
not a very good picture.
No, this would be really bad if it was on Instagram.
Yeah.
So they go into mine shafts. Richard pointed out the new machinery that was like leg out, not installed yet. He's like, we're about to install the machinery.
Right.
They were told to take samples of the ore with them because it's so fucking awesome. There's like
Well, it's
little
everywhere.
piles of it.
It's
Yeah.
everywhere. It's just like, let's go. Get it out of here.
The ore had actually been brought from other mines and then sprayed
Okay, so this is
or sprinkled with gold dust to make it look better.
I mean,
This actually had a name for it.
lying?
It's called salting. So you take actual, real, good ore from another mine, you bring it to your mine, and then you put gold on it, whatever, to make it look even better. So they see this pile of awesome shit that they say just came out of your mine, but it didn't.
You know, I worry what happens to this Madoff.
It's fine. They at one point they take them down into a mine because they found a vein of mica, which is
Oh yeah,
known as fool's gold.
right.
And so they show them, and they're like, it's a little ways away. They're like, look, gold, and the guys
Look, fools, gold.
Yeah, and these guys are all from New York. They don't
Yeah.
fucking shit
Oh,
about it. And they're like,
whoa.
oh my God, go.
Gold.
So they're over the fucking
Don't
moon.
let the coyote get it.
Or do.
Or do.
So it was So anyway, everyone was very excited, and they all believed they were about to become super wealthy, like they had just fucking hit it. When they got back to Geronimo, Richard sent off telegrams to newspapers and people he knew in New York describing the awesome trip. Quote, everyone could buy Spenazuma stocks with confidence, knowing it had been investigated by prominent persons and found to be even richer than represented.
Jesus.
He also sent telegrams to his contacts who were in on the scam, saying they would have no trouble selling the additional $10 million worth of stock.
Right.
2 years before, Arizona Territory officials had become concerned that all the fake mines popping up everywhere were destroying confidence in the mining business.
What an irrational fear.
Yeah. Someone suggested that an agency should be created to keep an eye on the industry.
Oh,
Regulation!
Yeah, regulations.
We want freedom!
Yeah, no.
The legislature approved it, and then a new paper in Phoenix called the Arizona Republic, that had just started a couple years before, started the mining beat.
Okay. And now that's got to be good news for Richard.
A reporter named George Smalley was assigned to be the mine reporter.
Oh, man.
So he's the mine beat guy.
Okay.
He's got the fucking job of that's him.
Oh, okay. So he's a... All right. Kind of a...
The photographs are so bad.
It's amazing, but they would be like, oh, my God. Look at that. Wow.
So he's the mine reporter. He would ride across just miles of empty land to get to mines, write up a story about what was coming out of the ground, how the mine was operating. The mine beat, like a crime beat.
So was it sort of, is his job, like, is he trying to be investigative, or is he just kind of going there and just reporting on what he sees?
A very honest reporter.
Okay.
He is very much
Is he
like a man who is like, I will write what I see, and
Okay.
I will be honest and truthful.
Okay, right.
So, in early 1899, just a week after the happy investors had headed back to New York, Smalley was headed over to a mine when he ran into Bill Duncan.
Okay.
And now Bill Duncan, for some reason, was now a disgruntled Spenazuma employee. So something had happened, and he was like, fuck this place.
Okay.
He told Smalley all about Richard's fake mine and said he'd take him there.
Okay.
When they arrived, there was none of the activity that had been going on when the investors were there. Quote,
Right.
The superintendent was lounging in a hammock beneath a sycamore tree.
Oh, sorry, I just got tired from ore. I've got so much ore.
I've been golding all day.
Sorry, I just...
Oh. All right, I gold at night now, and then during the day I hammock.
Yeah, it's just...
I'm a classic miner.
There's so much that we don't need to work anymore.
We took all that we could take out, and we need more.
But it's growing. It's growing back. That's how it works.
We need more hitty things.
Yes. Sharpened hammer party things.
Sharpened hammer pointy things.
That's what we're after. And then the bags to put the ubiquitous minerals into.
Yes.
For we have been truly blessed up here at Montezuma. Yes. All right. Now, if you come back, we will cut your head off.
I love mining. So they were told the property was not open for strangers to inspect.
No. Just people who are going to buy it.
But Duncan found a way for them to sneak onto the property because he knew fucking everything about the place.
Sure.
They explored mine shafts and tunnels, which were all way too short.
Okay.
Smalley looked at the buildings and machinery and realized this setup was ridiculous. The buildings could never hold the machinery that was there. Like one of the buildings he went in was just like 2x4s laid on the ground. Like you needed actual like something to.
Right. One of them just said, they had a sign that just said, "This is an active mine."
Machinery was much too small for what legitimate mines would use to crush ore. So it's just all.
At any point, are you starting to think that this is not a good mine?
Oh, it feels like a great mine.
Okay.
I mean, I would still invest.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
Still 100%
All right.
invest.
I'm just making sure.
They saw the salted ore, so he's been down in the mines. He sees this pile of awesome ore. He's like,
Right.
This is all bullshit. Duncan told him which two mines the ore was from, But Smalley said, I'll take it from here. I'm a reporter, and I'll find out where it came from myself.
But I thought we was kind of partners.
No, we're not partners.
But I'm Duncan.
I am a reporter. You're
We're
Duncan.
reporters.
You brought me here.
We're reporters.
You did your job.
I did our job.
Now I walk away from you.
I can't end this.
I do my job.
I have issues with goodbye.
I know.
Take me with you. I'll be your sidekick. I won't even bother you much. I just need a goddamn friend. I'll pay you. Please. Come on. All right, well, I'm going to walk away. You'll regret this.
I wonder who that guy
Here I
is.
go.
I don't regret it at all. It feels great. I'm betting that Duncan and Richard's falling out happened when Duncan pulled the two henchmen away from the.
Yeah, that's what I would
Had to
assume.
have,
Yeah.
So Smalley goes and investigates. He spent days questioning local supervisors of mines and slowly discovered the full operation. One mine owner said Richard had bought ore from him to be shipped back to New York as Spenazuma ore that he was displaying currently in his office.
Wow.
There's nothing at Spenazuma, just 1 2-foot vein of sulfide. Quote, no copper, no gold, no silver, just lead. When Smalley's investigation was going on, Richard was happily working his scam back in New York. He put out more fake ore testing reports. It's so funny you can find them.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The investors who had visited were talking it up. So now it's just like all these actual rich, prominent guys are out telling everyone how fucking awesome it is. Together, they issued an affidavit. So all the fucking rich guys who came together put out an affidavit that said how awesome the mining company was. Quote, most of us considered this prospectus a fairy tale, but candidly confess that it is not only true, but our own eyes have seen much more than has been claimed, and we sincerely believe the property to be the most valuable of its kind in the country.
Okay, there we go.
Richard used the affidavit to further promote. The ore testing reports confirmed what the investors said. It was now estimated the mine could produce between 2,500 and 10,000 per day.
Wow.
Then on May...
That's a lot considering it's empty.
Yeah. I mean, considering there's nothing there,
Yeah,
they're really
that's
coming
just
up with some
ton.
big
Yeah.
numbers. This is very Enron.
Oh, yeah.
Then on May 17th, in 1899, Smalley's investigation story was published in the Arizona Republic. The headline was, quote, a tenderfoot trap.
Okay.
He lays it all out.
Okay.
The fake ore, that many of the tents in the supposed camp were empty, and that fake miners were paid $3 a day.
Okay.
One miner said, quote, this is the laziest camp I ever struck.
Yeah, it's a great job for them.
We have a good time during our shift and very little work is done.
It's a good time.
He said when the investors were there, they had been told to act excited about the ore they were bringing out of the mine. They also took the investors into a mine and pointed out the mica and said it was gold. The investors knew so little about mining, they believed everything.
Yeah, which is why you want to definitely get an affidavit involved.
100%.
Yeah.
Smalley wrote that Richard and the mining company were, quote, committing a crime against Arizona, which its people should punish. They are injuring the mining interests of the entire territory, which I don't give a fuck. Good. Fuck mining.
Yeah.
I mean, that's my honest response. Fuck mining.
Yeah. But this is before they knew that.
No, they still know. They still know. Fucking everyone still fucking does it. Takes shit out of my sweet Mother Earth, my little baby.
Listen. Okay.
When news made it back to New York, the value of the stock quickly fell to zero.
Huh. That's way lower.
Yeah, it's a lot lower.
Do you have to make new certificates?
I guess yeah.
Valueless.
Nothing. Richard tried to save the swindle. He hired an Arizona lawyer to offer Smalley a $5,000 bribe to retract his 17-page detailed article and to write other stories explaining how he was wrong.
He made millions of dollars,
Okay.
and he's offering him $5,000.
Okay, thank you. So What a cheap motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like all of the money that he put into this thing, and then he's just going to offer
$5,000. You offer this guy $1 million. I
mean,
this is the future of your bullshit mind is on the line. Act like you give a shit.
And then he wants him to write other fucking...
Yeah, more stories. I want it to be a series.
For some reason, Smalley turned the offer down.
What?
Yeah. The lawyer threatened to sue the paper for $100,000 for libel then. Mm-hmm. He said the paper had, quote, unsubstantiated reporting caused his client unbearable stress and considerable loss of income. Mm-hmm. The paper owners did not back down, and the lawyer eventually did.
Yeah.
The territorial governor of Arizona then issued an official proclamation warning Easterners against ever investing in the Spinazuma Mining Company.
So this is probably all bad for. I
It's
feel
not
like the
good for the
business
company.
has peaked at this point.
It's not good for the company. Hey, gentlemen, we have to let you go.
Yeah.
Who? Me. I'm the only one who works here. It was such a vast operation, too. Like, he really...
It's
Here's
almost
what he
like
did.
if he focused on mining, maybe he would have gotten something.
But here's what he did. He did everything but keep the guys who knew about it on his good side. Bill Duncan.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Like, the guy you don't fuck with is
Yeah.
the guy who knows everything. Yeah. And that's the guy he fucked with. Because otherwise, this is fucking rolling still.
I mean, look, yeah. You've got to bribe the people properly.
So... The publisher of the Graham County Guardian did not look good now. He was forced to admit that the mining camp was deserted and stocks he had been advertising in the paper were worthless.
Okay.
The local community was rocked. Businesses had come and set up ready for the coming flood of riches.
Wow.
So basically a town had set up
right,
waiting to deal with all the
ore
the
and
gold and
right.
copper and silver. I mean, they were in saloons. Like everyone was ready.
Yeah.
They ordered products. They waited. But once the truth was exposed, everyone went out of business. It was over. But Richard,
yes, that's my man.
not one to give up.
There we go. Fight, baby.
Less than a month later, he was back at it with another fake mining operation in the Penalino Mountains. He called it Lone Pine Mining Company.
There we go.
So he's doing the exact same fucking thing. Word got to Smalley pretty fast. He went out and investigated. He found the exact same thing. As he looked around, a guy who was with him yelled, "Duck!" Quote, then followed a dull thud of lead against the rocks. Smalley had been shot at.
Jesus.
They saw two men with rifles a ways away in some trees. After waiting a while and realizing the men weren't going to shoot again, they approached the men, both of whom were standing there with rifles, and Smalley accused them of shooting at him. One said they were just hunting rabbits and that he should get off the claim.
Just a couple Elmer Fuds.
We was hunting rabbits. Also, you need to leave here.
I feel like you shot at me.
Rabbits.
Your boys look like a rabbit from way up
far.
here. Your boys look like rabbits.
Rabbits around here by 5'8", and they wear clothes.
We don't. Maybe part of the problem is we don't know what a rabbit is.
Never seen no rabbit.
Anyway, we got our hands full of ore.
You get out of here.
There's so much ore up here.
So Smalley left, and he wrote up another story. Richard's
I'll give you 3 pencils to stop doing this.
Richard's done in Arizona. He's just fucked at this point. But not back east.
There we go.
He continued to con and swindle and became known by the name Smalley had given him in the story, the Prince of Swindlers.
Okay.
He wrote up an 18. I read the whole thing. He wrote up an 18-page story on.
He's got an
Richard.
A-team, which I was going to say.
He put it together in 18.
You love that
And
show.
Face Man.
Face Man.
You never watched 18 Face?
I've seen the A-team. I've
Face.
seen the A-team. Yeah.
No faces.
Sure. Yeah.
Sure?
Yeah. I mean,
Don't talk to me.
it's Mr. T's world, and everyone else is just a side character.
That's just a really fucked thing to say about Face.
What else is? Yeah.
So he's now going by 2 different aliases, Oxford and Montgomery. One man he conned into buying stock in Spinazuma was his friend Theodore Hageman.
Okay.
Hageman invested $300,000.
Sure.
Theodore died in 1902, and then Richard went to his widow and convinced her to invest more money in a different company.
Oh, dear.
Richard and the widow seemed pretty close, and Hageman's heirs then brought a suit against the widow, and people began to wonder if Richard had been part of Hageman's death.
Oh, shit.
So Hageman was dug up. They thought he might be poisoned. In 1903...
Was Richard like, I don't know how to dig to get anything out of anywhere.
I can't do any of that.
Try, I don't know, here's a spoon. I got nothing.
I am out of ideas.
Just get a bunch of machines around it and don't plug them into anything.
In 1903, Richard was indicted in New York for conning a woman out of $50,000 in another mining scam in a different state, like Colorado, and he's doing it in other places. A different woman from Brooklyn paid his bail of $20,000, and then he immediately skipped out on the bail and headed for Philadelphia, and she ended up having to lose the $20 grand.
Oh, shit.
There, in Philadelphia, he came up with more cons, one of which was that he figured out a secret process to make real diamonds.
He
What?
figured out a
Why
secret
are
process.
Why are you doubting me? He figured out how to make diamonds.
Sure.
I mean, it sounds awesome.
Yeah.
It sounds like the best thing ever.
For sure, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he just figured it out.
Just feels like it's not a
No,
thing.
man, he
I've not
figured
heard
it
of
out.
it recently, so.
Well, here's some diamonds, so you see them.
Those are probably just regular diamonds.
Just made them in the back room.
With what?
Out of the diamond machine.
What does it look like? Can
It's
I see
like
it?
a picture.
Can I see it?
Yeah. So if you look at it, your eyes can die.
How did you get in there to look at it?
I wear special glasses.
Can I just wear those glasses and just go in there?
For me.
Can I? I'm surely there's a way for me to get a pair of those fitted for me. I want to invest a lot of money in this. I just need a pair of these special
glasses. The guy
glasses.
who made him died in a train accident.
Well, surely there's another guy who could maybe try to make another pair.
He didn't leave the formula.
Well, I mean, I'm sure I could just. Can we just take the lenses out of yours and put them in like some?
No, they're made specifically for my eyes.
It's just super convenient.
Put them on someone else's eyes. It'd be like wearing someone else's contacts.
What happens if I look at it without those?
Your whole brain explodes.
Oh, but you're a brain doctor, so you'll be fine to fix me.
Well, I can't put together an exploded brain. I would need my medium for that, but he's in Boston. So he even gave out samples of the diamonds to potential investors who would take them to experts who pronounced them, quote, impossible to be distinguished from the genuine. So they're real diamonds.
Yeah. He's pulled the switcher. This is just before the switcheroo.
It's the switcheroo. He was arrested in Philadelphia by New York cops and fought extradition to New York. He was let out on bail and obviously needed more money. So Richard, using the name Oxford with his son, whose name is A.D. Flower, who I didn't know existed until this point in the story.
Sure.
They sold $900,000 worth of stock in a new corporation.
Oh, my God.
They did not keep records of the stock sales, which is
Standard.
what you do.
Standard.
That's what you do.
Standard.
He was arrested again.
For what?
The corporation was created by Professor Oxford, who had learned of a way to make different colored bricks out of common garden dirt.
This is now getting sad.
This is fucking
This
rad.
is like the spaghetti incident
You could change the world. He told investors the brick became so hard instantly and were more durable than normal clay bricks. We're talking about a brick revolution.
It's sad. It is sad. I mean, we're talking about this. This used to be about gold. Then it was about diamonds. Now we got real hard bricks.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, no.
Turns out he had learned of the ancient process on a trip to Persia.
That he never took.
The plant he was building was going to be able to crank out 400,000 bricks a day and make the company...
That's too many bricks.
228,000 a month. He said anyone who invested 5,000 would get at least 100,000 in return. He was arrested again.
For what?
The president of the company board said, quote, "Had I known of Dr. Flower's history, I never would have gone into the company.
Yeah.
I did not know that Flower is at present fighting extradition to New York, but the president's suspicion was raised after Professor Oxford gave him 3 pearls he said he made."
I mean, he's just so comfortable lying.
When the president had them inspected, they were revealed to be cheap imitations. They weren't actually pearls.
So at this point, he's not even going the.
Also, his name's not Oxford. It's Flower.
But he's not even going like the extra mile now of just having real pearls, saying that he created them from his ass.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that, and it was almost like
because he's becoming like worse.
Reading the story, it was like the guy, like he was like had this brick thing going, and then he all of a sudden he was like, "I have pearls!"
Yeah.
Like
he's fat Elvis.
He already had the guy in. The guy was the president of the company.
Elvis at this point.
He's out of his fucking mind. The Sedalia Weekly wrote on November 29th, 1907, quote, "Hundreds of other companies for the manufacture of every conceivable object for the development of every variety of mine have been promoted by Dr. Flower, as well as numerous benevolent societies and Christian aid organizations, the beneficiary being always Dr. Richard C. Flower." Another man
That's
filed...
lucky.
Yeah, right? Another man filed charges against Dr. Flower. Quote, "He asserted that the doctor pretended to have a secret process for the manufacture of telegraph poles, that the material was processed into a mold, hardening immediately, and that the cost was nominal, and then he had big contracts from Western railroads."
He's got to be stressed. This many lies.
New telephone pole This is a revolution in telephone polling. We can change the way telephone poles...
We now are able to make a telephone pole out of bullshit.
What I'm saying is wood is shit. And now we have to make something out of this.
They grow out of the ground like beanstalks, which we also have access to.
Beanstalks?
Yes, we have figured out a way, and this is a side tip, by the way. But we have a way. We have some beans that we've got, and they are not really edible beans. They're not kidney beans. They're not black beans. They're not pinto beans. They're not white beans.
Is this a new bean?
It's a new bean.
Good Lord.
And in early testing, we found that these beans, when they are in the right soil, which again, we only have the technology to this soil, a thing called a bean stalk, which is essentially an enormous vine that will go to the clouds.
Good Lord.
Now, this is all rudimentary right now. And again, this is a sidebar. This is not on record. But some of the miners, because we're still using miners for this project.
Children?
Yes, these are about 9-year-old children. They're almost ready to go off on their own into the world. Most of them are married with kids of their own.
Sure.
I mean, that's not a crazy thing to imagine. They're children. But if you climb this beanstalk, up there are giants in the clouds.
I'm sorry?
There are giant, almost humans like us, but they're giants.
In the clouds, you say?
Shut up. Shut up. Shut your mouth. Yes.
And this is all from a legume.
It's from I wouldn't even call it a legume.
Okay.
These are magic beans. They're beans. But they're not, these are magic beans.
Where did they come from?
They actually came out of a room. And so that's part of, but that's not what's interesting.
Wait,
that they came out of a room.
can we back up a little bit?
Oh, I can't really, because
The
when you
legumes were in a room.
the giants have treasure up there. Okay, so you can get. It's called a legume, is where the beans came from, and yes.
Oh,
so now you like it again. Yeah, that's great.
Well, this makes sense.
Yes, exactly. Now, ideally, we'll be able to go up into the clouds where the giants live, and we'll be able to take a bunch of their giant stuff. I mean, even if we get a candlestick from up there, that's 100 of our candlesticks. We'll throw this stuff down, and we'll be able to, just sell the materials from the giants. So that's the latest business. My name's Jack, by the way.
Hi.
How are you?
My name's Dave. I started Uber.
Interesting.
It's different. We're basically
We're similar. We're similar.
We're taking
types
over.
Of guys.
We're taking over the carriage business.
We're similar types of guys. I think we're both.
I basically have.
We're both good business practitioners.
I have enough money to drive every carriage driver out of business and then make them work for me, and then they don't have any health insurance.
I'll tell you what. I don't
That's
see an
the
idea
plan.
like that ever actually being able to stick around in a society. The beans, on the other hand. Pardon the pun, but the sky's the limit.
Well, legume me. You know what I mean? I'm in.
All right, great.
Worst business meeting ever. So did I do this right? Telephone poles. It turns out I read further into it. The telephone poles were going to be made out of clay.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Because clay's indestructible.
That's what they say.
That's I mean, the only downside to that idea is rain. Really be a problem, but outside of that.
He does not get bail this time when he's arrested. When Richard was in the magistrate's office, a hypodermic needle fell out of his pocket.
No, that's embarrassing.
Where did that come from?
Someone must be doing heroin.
He said he was taking morphine for, quote, pains, which he attributed to overwork and protecting the Great Persian process.
Yeah, that's true.
The newspaper article went on to, quote, Dr. Flowers claims that he is able to manufacture diamonds, pearls, and rubies, as well as bricks, telephone poles.
Well, when you put the list together, it's an indictment.
So there's a Persian process that he has stumbled across, ancient Persian process that is able to make diamonds, pearls, rubies, and bricks and telephone poles.
Yep. The standard 6.
He was extradited to New York, given bail, and then...
Let me guess. Stuck around for trial.
Yeah, he jumped bail.
Oh, weird.
His wife sued Mrs. Hageman, the widow Hageman. It turns out Richard and Mrs. Hageman took off together and were spotted in various locations around the country.
Okay.
So ever since Hageman had died, he had been with
the wife.
So when he went to Philadelphia, he was with Hageman's widow.
Okay. And so his wife chooses to sue Hageman's widow.
Yeah. In September 1908, police in Richmond, Virginia, detained Mrs. Hageman and seized, quote, trunks full of finery and gems. Larry, look at this. There's a shitload of gems in here and finery.
I bet they were made in a room.
They also arrested a man believed to be Dr. Flower.
Okay. Wow. So he's at that point.
But the police arrested him. They arrested him under the, quote, blanket charge of being suspicious characters.
Okay. So the Giuliani law.
So it's not a great arrest.
Right.
A judge.
How is there not enough to get him on now?
You're out of there. These are suspicious characters.
Isn't that the guy who's ripped off millions of dollars from
He's
people?
So they couldn't. So wherever he would get arrested, they needed time to then send documentation to prove it was him.
Okay.
And in that time, he would often get out of jail by a judge who's like, these charges are nonsense. So he was often ahead of the fucking thing.
Sounds not stressful, though.
Yeah. So a judge releases them 2 days later. Though Virginia police believed he was wanted in many other cities for grand larceny and really wanted in New York, they had to let Dr. Flowers go. Virginia police blamed the apathy of the New York police for his release because the New York cops, when the Virginia cops were like, send us down documents or a cop or whatever, the New York cops decided not to send someone to get Richard because they didn't believe it was him.
Okay, good. Good. Good.
At this point, Richard's wife had it. She filed for divorce on grounds that he was running around the country with another woman.
Yeah.
She was granted a divorce in 1910. Richard continued to travel and swindle. He traveled all over the West into Mexico. He was finally caught in Toronto in 1914. He actually went to Europe for a little bit. He was caught in Toronto in 1914 after 11 years on the run.
Wow.
He had lived in Toronto for 2 years. The Pinkertons found him.
Wow.
The New York Times said he was, quote, broken by age and drugs. He was sentenced to a year in jail on December 8th, 1914, and after getting out, he moved to New Jersey as an old, broken-down man. Richard died suddenly in a theater in Hoboken, New Jersey, September 1960.
Wow.
Yeah.
Was he was that the biggest bullshitter up until then? Was this the most?
He was really one of the king all-time bullshitters.
Yeah.
I mean, there were a lot of guys that did a lot of shit, but he was like, I think the level of just horse shit that came out of this fucking guy was just astounding that people bought it. And everywhere he went, he would just lie out of his. I mean, telephone poles and diamonds, like it's fucking
the
insane.
Telephone poles I like.
It's
That
almost like
makes sense.
he's trying to see how stupid people are.
And realizing they're really stupid.
They're more dumb than you could ever imagine.
Wow.
But the more we do, like, have you read about Theranos? Or I was going to do a podcast on it, but there's so many other things that are out about it now.
Luckily, I
Documentary. There's the HBO. You should watch. I mean,
oh, I know what you're talking about. Right. Yeah.
so it was this blood making machine that was never real.
right.
Could literally defy the laws of physics. It was just completely impossible to create. And it's like this.
Yeah.
She and her cohort just keep saying it's real. And every expert in the field is like, this can't be real. And it just goes on. It's like Enron. Like, the people who know are like, this is not a thing that can be happening.
Yeah.
But everyone's like, I'm in. And like with the Theranos thing, like all the Kissinger and all these fucking George Shultz, they're on the board of the company. Like, it's just this fucking thing. And everyone wants to believe it because they want to fucking make money. I mean, that's the end. That's the bottom line is everyone wants to fucking make a bunch of money.
Yeah.
So no one's like,
There's no
we should
real-
actually look into this.
Yeah.
It's just all garbage. And the real,
It's like the FDA.
yeah, the smart guys don't invest in it. And they're like, well, this is fucking stupid. And then all these idiots with money just throw their fucking money at it.
We
And
live in
it's-
the juicero economy.
like literally, this is what so much of Silicon Valley is.
That's what I was
They're
just gonna
all
say,
fucking
yeah.
Richard Flowers.
Yeah.
The whole fucking town is just a pack of fucking lies.
It-
Uber is a
it's-
lie.
And it also is like it rewards the big dream with no reality attached to it.
Totally.
So it's just like, yeah, anybody can say that I've got the thing that's going to do this life-changing thing.
Yeah.
Just because you open an office with a living wall.
A living wall?
Yeah, that's what all those fancy Silicon Valley places
Oh,
are.
they are?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think that this happened in the 1800s and absolutely nothing has changed.
Well, and that it doesn't, I mean, it's crazy because it's early. It's not crazy because it's foreign.
Right.
It's crazy because, but it is what we live in now. I mean, really, when you think about even the presidency now, it is being the CEO of a big bullshit company.
Yeah, it's all fucking bullshit. That's
And
all
you're
they-
selling. Your job is to come up with the right rhetoric to sell the bullshit again to the people. So it's how do you reinvent the bullshit and sell it again? Who can sell it the best? But it's not about changing or fixing or finding or
No, it's
tweaking, or helping.
This is one of those things you're like, well, if we're not in the middle of capitalism, is any of this fucking happening?
Yeah.
Because it's really just the juicero, or whatever it was.
Juicero,
Like
yeah.
that one is fucking remarkable.
That one's amazing. But that shows the actual level of how empty something can really be. And yeah, it's Firefest. It's all these things that are just like beneath them. There's nothing, but the outside's shiny, and that is a lot of times the way it's rewarded now. It's at least it's enough to make you temporarily wealthy, and it's enough to like get you money to like be considered legitimate, and even
There's also this, like a lot of it's very American and British, but there was this story I read about why we can't have high-speed trains. And the reason we can't have high-speed trains in America isn't because of the technology or whatever.
Right.
It's the graft. It costs so much more money to build a train in England or America than it does it's like 5 times the amount than any other country on earth. In Japan, it's much cheaper. In
But wait,
Germany,
why?
it's much
Why?
graft.
What does that mean?
It's just corruption.
Oh, right.
There's so much fucking corruption
Yeah.
at every level that everyone's just fucking siphoning off the system.
Yeah.
And that's all these guys are doing. They're essentially just siphoning off. They create a fucking company and they siphon a bunch of fucking money off. Like Uber going public, like that is
Yeah.
Richard Flower. There's no money to be made.
Yeah.
They haven't done anything.
No.
It is just bullshit.
Yeah.
If you look at it, you go, oh, they're losing $1 billion every year.
It's keeping the lights on until like
And
you
then
put everyone else out.
Everyone's going to give them money, and at some point it's all going to collapse because there's nothing there.
Yeah.
The only thing they've ever done that I think is interesting,
Have a jam pad.
no, scooters.
Oh yeah, right.
The scooters are actually a cool thing that
Yeah.
is actually a good thing for the environment,
Yeah.
and it helps. Honestly, it's one of those things like it helps poor people move around maybe better than most other ways.
Yeah.
It's a good technology, but they didn't invent it. Someone else came up with scooters, Lime or whatever, and then they jumped in and bought a bunch of scooters.
Right.
Like Uber has no future. Uber is George Flower, who's just made a fake mine.
Yeah.
It's going to eventually be exposed and collapse. But there's just so much of it. There's so much.
Well, the train thing is so annoying because it is like, I mean, it's all so different now because of climate change.
Yeah.
That it's like at the point where you are just like, what is the fucking end game? To just be to die on top of the most money?
It's crazy.
Like that's the
That's
goal.
literally it. To
And
die
so-
on top of most money. And then everything is dead around you. And,
And
you're like,
everything's and you're dead and everything's
Yeah.
gone. Great. That sounds really fun.
That's our jam. Mining companies are and one of the reasons I brought up that I hate mining so much is because the way mining companies operate is they will go in and they will dig up and just absolutely environmentally destroy an area, and they'll have a parent company, and they will keep giving money to the parent company, and then when they've mined everything they can out of the mine and obliterated the area and turned it into this fucking hazard, toxic nightmare, then they go, oh, we don't have any money left. And then they leave. And then there's this giant fucking nightmare that has to be taken care of by the government, and everybody has to pay for it. It's a fucking graft.
Yeah.
Like if you want to start a mine, you should be like, oh, and then here's the amount of money you have to pay at the end because you're going to dig up the earth and put a bunch of toxic shit out there.
Yeah.
And now the mine's not actually profitable, is it?
No.
Because it's a fucking graft. Yeah. It's a fucking way.
And yeah. And it's everything. Oh, good. Well, glad we were able to end it on a nice depressing note for consistency.
Well, now we have a president that's just straight up the most obvious grifter of all fucking time. It's beautiful because it takes the transparency off the office, which has always been a fucking oh, it's not a grift. Really? Tell that to Obama's $100 million and the Clintons $100 million. It's a fucking grift. You become president to make $100 million. That's why you do it.
Yeah.
And that's what's been going on for years.
Yeah.
Yeah. You make fucking. They didn't make it illegal to get insider trader information in Congress until 2007.
I mean, that's
until
just crazy.
2007. You could go to Congress and tell them what you were going to do with your technology, and then they could buy stock in it and get fucking rich. And they didn't stop that until 2007. The whole fucking thing is just fucking bullshit.
I will say it's nice to see that Chuck Schumer is doing well. I like to see that. I like to know that guy's got some. I like to know.
Oh my God! I hope a car falls on him.
Yeah. No, it is. And what it does is it gives you the system we have now, where you have millionaires arguing about the best way to bail the rest of us out.
Yeah.
In the low stakes theatrical faux battle that the millionaires on the news stations
it's
get
crazy
to tell you about. Anyway, we'll sign cars and
we do sign cars. Did we? Oh yeah, we're gonna have some announcements on dates coming up in a couple of weeks in May. We got some dates that we're gonna drop, and tickets will be available. Some big announcements in there.
Yeah. We're gonna. Dave and I are getting conjoined.
And what country should we move to when this all falls apart?
Well, we better hurry because I feel
Panama.
Yeah.
Just because of Van Halen.
We should go to Persia.
Yep.
That's where all the. Where you get the ruby making technology.
They have so many telephone poles there.
Yeah. Thank God it doesn't rain. Okay.
All right, Merry Christmas.
Oh, I'm gonna pee.
Oh shit, was that one long?